Welcome, folks. Episode 659, Boxing Asylum Nuthouse headed your way. You can catch us here Sundays, 8 o'clock in the UK, 12 Pacific time in the United States. For more of the action, patreon.com/Boxing Asylum. And it has not been a lot to discuss. It's been a slow couple of weeks. And when we thought something was going to happen, fights get pulled. We were supposed to have David Morrell and Callum Smith during this last couple of weeks. Yeah, it didn't happen. We were supposed to have Tony Yoka against Lawrence Okoli. Yeah, that didn't happen. But we still did get Fat Boy Miller finally just displaying his boldness for all the world to see. Have taken a decision over Lenier Pero, and what was a pretty fun heavyweight contest. Pero got out to a good start, and then as soon as Miller kind of tracked him down and stuffed him against the ropes, Pero really didn't have any answers for it. Miller was doing a really good job just throwing short, touching shots before he maybe scoop him up with a long hook or something like that, clean it up. But it was a good display of inside work and volume from a very, very fat man. I'm impressed with the motor he had. We always have questions about him. He has popped positive 3 times, but it was a good performance for him, and it should get him into some sort of a position for a title or a near title shot. Not a bad heavyweight fight, Justin. I was finally able to catch it this morning, and it didn't bore me to death.
I mean, I would say it's better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't have a lot of high hopes, but I think we talked about it like a couple weeks ago that was going to be the problem with Pero. Could he keep Miller off of him? Because the one thing about Miller, however it happens, the man has a good chin, and he's got pretty good stamina for a guy that size. And I think Pero was going to be hard for him to win the whole fight the way he did. He won the first 2 rounds. And after Miller just finally put his head down and just, like you said, just bulldozed him, just kind of like shoved him to the ropes. And I don't think physically Pero could keep him off and actually do the things he wanted to do. And he ended up just fighting Miller's fight for 10 straight rounds. And there's nothing he could do about it. He tried, but he couldn't hurt him.
I think he probably landed the cleaner shots throughout the fight. It was his 5 clean shots versus Miller's 20 touches.
Exactly. So. It's like you land 2 or 3 good shots, but I'm gonna touch you 30 times in a row. Yeah, it's not going to. I think he did land the cleaner stuff. I don't think Miller actually ever landed a really good shot on Pero. It's just Pero got sucked in. This is one of these things, styles and different ways, and Pero just got sucked into Miller's fight. That's the exact kind of fight Miller wanted, and he got it. And there's nothing Pero could do about it. And I don't know, it was weird. It's just Miller. It's just so a guy his size shouldn't be able to go and throw that many punches for 12 rounds and take that many shots as he does. But he keeps it going. He'll get another payday out of this. Pero, I think I said the other day, I never had high hopes for him anyway. I didn't think he was that good. Miller didn't respect him at all. I think Pero might have stunned him maybe once, twice. He kind of, I would say he let him know he was there at least.
The 11th round, because he hit him with a good body shot and actually pushed Miller back for the first time in like 7-8 rounds.
But you got to think about it. Pero looked really good for the first 2 rounds. I mean, those jabs to the body, his work was perfect. It was Cuban style with a little, and he was throwing harder. The corner he was doing what they told him to do. The announcers were like, this is what he's trained for. They have worked on him putting a little bit more on his punches. This is perfect execution. And then all of a sudden, he come out in the 3rd round, and he changed everything. He backed right up to the ropes. And I think with Pero, it must have been a stamina thing. I don't know. I really don't get why. Because it's not like Miller made him change his game plan and wore him down. It was like the first minute of the 3rd round, he decided, I'm just going to lay on the ropes. And we're just going to do this. Every round was the exact same from there on out. Pero made that decision that I'm just going to lean back and we're going to go like this. And that's what happened the whole damn fight. It made no sense that he made that decision before Miller even forced him to make that decision. And that's what Miller wanted. Pero should have, But I don't think Pero could have kept him off anyway, but he should have kept it going longer than 2 rounds.
Yeah, we might have been talking about it being a draw if he had. I mean, because I thought that he won 1, 2, 11, 12, and maybe it was the 5th or the 6th he might have had an argument for as well.
Maybe.
Pushing a little bit close. But
that was an easy fight to score. I mean, honestly, because Pero was getting pushed back. He was landing some good shots, but like you just said, that's not enough. You can't just land a couple of good shots and the other guy just completely outwork you for 2.5 minutes of each round. That's not going to get you a win. And Pero, he only blamed himself for that. He decided, I think a lot of it was too, though, was Pero just didn't, I think he realized early, I don't have the power to really legitimately hurt him. I probably don't have the stamina to sit back on the back foot and box him like this the whole fight. He made that decision and he lost the fight. That's it. There's nothing he could do about it. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. Miller, we're going to see him again. I don't know where in the hell. There's always going to be fights for him because, so whatever you want to call him, he's still, I guess he's technically a name in the heavyweight, and he shows up.
Yeah, he's entertaining, and he knows how to sell a fight. He's a loudmouth son of a bitch.
And you're going to have to beat him. He's one of those, and I know that sounds stupid, but you know what I'm saying. He's one of these guys. You're going to have to beat him. Because he's going to come out and he's going to try. So you're going to have to put him down. He's not going to just stop coming. So that's when that's when it's going to be funny, because Miller, when he goes against a guy who can absolutely unload, that's what I'm waiting for. Like an Atoma. You know what? That's where you would see if Atoma has real power or not. If he could take out Miller, then we all know, okay, Atoma, that man has that is real power.
Well, yeah, it took Dubois to the 10th to do it, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it took forever to really hurt Miller. So if Atoma can clean him out, then we're going to see, okay, this is legit real power.
Yeah, and I think, even though, a little bit fat, a little bit sloppy, but I think what Miller did last night is he showed how you beat the well-schooled Cuban boxer. And like the Cuban boxers, they're so good at boxing. What they do is they get you out of position. They force you into square angles and touch you with straight punches. That's their game. What Miller was able to do to Pero was push him back, force him to square up, lose his shape, lose his fundamentals, and at that point in time, they're nothing special. But if you give the Cubans distance and let them dictate the terms, you're in for a long night. But this is how you flip the script on them. You make it ugly. You make it like nothing that they experienced in the amateurs. It's not about piling up points. It's about it's borderline dirty boxing. If you watched it, I mean, borderline dirty boxing.
And Pero, I just think, really comes down. I know I repeat myself, but I think it comes down to, I think he knew it, and I think his corner knew he did not have the tank to win it the way he had to win it. And so he tried to fight the other way. It just wasn't going to happen, because if Pero had been in elite condition he would have been able to keep fighting the way he did in the first round or two. He would have been able to do enough of that, like you said, to at least make it a split or make it close. But he had to be a gas tank issue while he decided, I'm just going to lean back on the ropes and just sit here. It had to have been an issue with the tank. I don't. But Pero had the body of like a 45-year-old man, so I think he might be one of those Cubans that's way, like we always say, that's way older than he is, because he looked old.
It's hard to tell what kind of shape he was in, because I thought he looked in fairly good shape. But that was just compared to Miller.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. You're right. Well, it's not hard to do that. But they said that Louis Ortiz was his mentor and stuff. Probably same age.
Yeah. Or all those guys are like built the same, like Ortiz, Solis, Pero. They like all kind of like have the same like body build, but they also have very square heads. Have you noticed that? Their heads are like very block proportioned.
That's why Wilder was able to find Ortiz.
There you go. And that's apparently who Eddie wants for Mr. Miller is Deontay Wilder. We'll see. I don't fucking know.
I say Miller wins that fight.
Probably.
I'm gonna. Wilder doesn't have the knockout anymore, and we don't have to get into that, but I would have to put my money on Miller to beat Wilder if they fought.
Yeah, you probably. I don't fucking know anymore.
Wilder, you get no credit for beating the Chisora he beat. I mean, Chisora looked god awful bad. He looked like an old man in that ring that should not have been in there. At least Miller is still training at whatever the hell he's doing. He's training with the Ennis people. He's good shape. I just don't think Wilder would beat him.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's crazy. We both saw them both just go 12 rounds. You're thinking, well, I guess they can go 12 rounds, and I don't know anymore because I don't. Some of those shots that Pero caught Miller with, I don't know that he takes them off of Wilder.
But Wilder doesn't. But Wilder doesn't have the. Wilder doesn't have the same fluidity and cannot throw the same shots Pero did.
No,
Wilder cannot. Pero showed in the rounds he won that he had diversity. His hands were relatively quick. He had a beautiful body shots with a jab to the body. Pero had all the skills. I just don't think I just don't think the tank was good enough. I don't think the power is good enough. Wilder can't throw any of those shots that Pero threw. None of them. He can't throw any of those quick little shots, body work. He's not going to. He can't do any of that. He never could. That's the thing about it is Wilder never really could throw any of those type shots. So that's the difference in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he can land another right hand. I mean, because that's the thing is he did hurt Chisora and he just let off the gas. I don't think that we're gonna find us with Deontay mouthing "I love you" to Jarrell Miller. Like I don't even know if Jarrell Miller's wife tells him that.
Jarrell Miller. Yeah, it's sad that we even have to discuss that fight at this point in the world anyway. But I think that's like sad. I think that the heavyweights besides Atoma, most of it is a sideshow right now. I mean, it really is. Most of it is kind of a sideshow because Usyk's doing his little thing.
Fighting a fucking kickboxer.
Yeah. Besides Atoma, who's like legit right now, the young legit up and comer, most of it is just sideshow bullshit in the heavyweight. 90% of it is.
Yeah, and I mean, at least they concede to that being what it is. Don't try to put us on that it's one of the greatest generations of heavyweights or anything like that. We haven't done anything to deserve such lies. Let's see here. What else was on that card there?
Like Ron Lyle would have knocked Baby Miller's hair and head off.
Oh man, that's the thing. There's so many of the guys that were B level in the 70s, like they would kick the shit out of.
It's like think all the guys in the 70s and 80s, the B and C guys, even the C level guys, and in the 90s would destroy most of the guys we have now, like the Trevor Burbicks. All these guys would be elite compared to what we have right now.
Yeah, it's one of those times. Like usually, I'll find myself defending the era and being like, yeah, it's a little bit better than you say. But as far as welterweight goes, I think welterweight's historically crap. I think outside potentially of a fight with Usyk and Atoma, the heavyweight division is officially crap. Well, not I can't knock my guy Caballel there waiting for his shot too. He's kind of hanging out there. He's a good fighter.
Let's just say it's not in a strong place right now.
No, nice way to put it. Really. I'll tell you what. I wish I had checked it out and before this, and I should have. But there was a good knockout last night. Apparently, with
really good knockout.
Yeah, Alon Chavez, who is apparently the nephew of Diego Chavez, who gave Keith Thurman fits and had a draw with Tim Bradley. I thought he lost that fight, but he has a draw with Tim Bradley, and just knocked out Miguel Medueno. Has been a very, very sturdy fighter until late. He got knocked out by Duarte, who we all know can punch in 7 rounds last year. Came back a year later. Now Chavez takes him out in 3 rounds. Tell us about this undefeated Argentine and what he did in there, Justin.
Well, after he got knocked out by Duarte, and after this knockout, he may want to rethink his whole boxing career. He got annihilated. It was one of those left hands that destroyed him. He was out in midair. Then he landed on his head and was out cold for a good. He didn't move for a good minute or so, and they were over there like trying to talk to him. It was a few minutes before he even was able to sit up. He got. I mean, you could just hear the snap. It was a brutal left hand. Chavez ducked his jab a little bit, and then boom, right down the middle, perfect shot. And Beduino got, I mean, just obliterated. It was a beautiful shot. And after taking back-to-back knockouts, I don't know. I think we should probably about to see the end of Beduino. Those were two brutal knockouts. That night was bad. That was the head hitting the hay. That was the just sparked out cold, looking around. I mean, it was people running in the ring. It was so bad. That was a tough one.
Yeah, and it's usually
have you watched it? Have you seen the knockout? You go watch it.
No, I'm gonna have to check it out. But when guys like Medueno are usually a pretty good measuring stick for these guys, and
that's what he was supposed to
where
be.
They can go, and if this kid's just absolutely waylaying guys like Medueno, either Medueno is, absolutely over the hill, or this kid is a truly legit puncher with a potential future.
It's probably in between. Let's put it that way. I think Medueno is over the hill. But I do believe Chavez can absolutely bang as well. So I think it's probably like in between that, whatever the hell you'd want to say that is. But yeah, that was tough to watch. That was just a nice, because it wasn't really a good card, to be honest with you. To that point, everybody kind of thought Lenier Pero was going to be just shit. So that actually made the card pretty good when he just destroyed that guy.
Good. Well, at least the folks at the Fountain Blue had some excitement.
Hey, last night is why we watch boxing. That is why. That's why people like knockouts. That's why you will sit there for 10 or 11 rounds of bullshit hoping that somebody all of a sudden can do that. That's why we watched boxing last night. That's it. That's why you check in to see it, because you're hoping something like that happens, and we got it.
And stuff like I just really was checked out this week after that whole Inoue pullout and
allegedly,
yeah, and the Morrell Smith fight falling apart. I was just kind of like, all right, I'm just kind of had it with this month of boxing. May will be better, I told myself.
Well, I can see that, because I told you this card. It's not like it. You were like, well, Inoue and all that shit happened, but we got a really great card on the zone. It wasn't one of those cards that got you excited about boxing.
No, it's just, it's just been a bummer recently with all this. And now we don't even know necessarily if all these injuries and pullouts are legit, because these guys keep popping up and ending up signing with Zuffa and all that crap too. So like, I don't even know what to think with some of these pullouts sometimes, but at least this time we know that, he just had drugs in his system. Yeah. Damn it, Larry.
Hey, that's the pullout we can at least understand.
You're killing your father, Larry.
Think about this. That's the pullout we get. Okay, drugs. He pulled out. He wasn't faking nothing. He just failed a test. You get those pullouts. You're right. I do agree with you. But boxing's always been like that. And if you go back in history, all the really fake pulls that people have done, and then you find out like 2 years later, no, it was just a negotiating tactic. He never wanted the tickets wasn't selling. There's always something. An injury is, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to think injuries are maybe 10% of why guys actually pull out, because they could probably still fight.
Like, got to call Dr. Shahai.
Yeah. So Inoue, who the hell knows what he did or didn't do, or how long they've known this, or who knows? I guarantee you they've known a whole lot longer than they say, and then they were trying to work some angles to get him back, to get the card on, and then who the hell fucking knows? But Inoue, I mean,
we could believe his stuff about the bicep or shoulder, and he took this therapeutic and blah blah blah, or we could just believe that he took fucking PEDs and he got caught.
That's what I choose to believe, because we have beat this horse about 27 feet into the ground. But I will say this, with all the technology, all the science out there, all the stuff they make you look up, everything else, it is a flat lie that when you say, I did not know I couldn't take this. That is a ridiculous lie when guys say that, because you are paying you're getting paid all this money. You have all these people paying all this money, and that's just a lie. Now, if you're like an undercard guy who's like coming in and like you're like the first fight of the night on YouTube, you may get a pass because you ain't getting no money. You're just some dude probably training himself. So you might actually mess up and grab some damn aspirin or some shit that you weren't supposed to take. And yeah, you might get in trouble for that because you didn't know. But when you get to this level and you're that high up, you sure as hell know exactly what the hell you can and cannot have. Period. That's just a huge GD lie. If you say, well, I didn't know I was supposed to take that. My doctor just said take this and I took it. Bullshit.
Yeah, and it all goes back at the end of the day. I just think we need to just test for levels and not substances, and you folks have at it, because this is not a functioning system whatsoever.
I'm saying there's going to get to the point where, like you said, there's going to say, if you only have this much in your system, well, you know what? You just made that joke. Guys go at it. They've already done that this year. Remember last year, there was 2 guys that failed. And they went, you know what? You failed, but the other side's cool with it. Let's just go for it. So they're already doing that. They're already, remember the guy that Morrell fought? He failed like for 3 different kinds of drugs.
And then Matias popped before fighting what's his fucking name.
And I think as long as Smith was like, cool, I think as long as the other guy signs off on it, they don't have a problem with it. They've already proven that they're going to let it happen. So with the Coley, I just believe there wasn't enough money in this fight any damn way to make no concessions. And I just think Coley didn't want to fight it. I just think the card with Smith, all that shit happening, I think they just said, we're not going to go through all this shit. We're just going to end it. Because if that fight was making a ridiculous amount of money, they would have found some way to get that on. I don't give a shit if he failed or not.
Yeah.
So, except Miller, that was a hard one to put through when the guy fails for 17. Different type. That's a hard one to kind of like. I mean, he failed for every drug known to man.
Yeah. You're probably gonna have to serve your time. Champ.
It's gonna be hard to get around 1 or 2. I mean, there's no way to get around as many as he had.
And it was weak cards. Like I didn't watch the Ben Whitaker fight. It went around. He knocked out Brain. I don't know, 3 fouls in a row. Suarez.
I watched a little bit of that card. It wasn't the worst card in the world, but I didn't care about the McGrain boys. So I mean, I didn't really give a shit about them. Whitaker, I think the sickest thing about the Whitaker win, and I did catch this, was the Eddie Hearn went on like a 5-minute rant defending Whitaker. Did you see that?
Yeah, no.
He was like, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't see the true Whitaker I see. He is a humble, great kid, and this is just his persona. He's like one of the most down to earth, salt of the earth person you'll ever meet. And he went like a 5-minute rant defending him, talking about how incredible he was as a person and as a person in the community. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're actually hurting his brand. People want him to be an asshole because they want to root against him. That's how he's going to make money. That's how Floyd made money. Don't sit there and tell us how nice he is. People don't give a shit how nice he is. They want to root against him. Mm-hmm. So don't ruin his whole I'm an asshole persona by saying that he's like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have him like doing charity with the kids and all this. I mean, I was like, Eddie Hearn, shut the fuck up. I mean, you don't have to sell us. We know how he acts. That's who he is. I mean, there's no point of, who cares? If he wants to be brash and brazen and he wants to be that's how he's going to sell. Do you think people are going to tune in to watch Whitaker if he comes out all humble and like talks and like comes out there and says, I love the kids, and like he's all like polite? No, nobody gives a shit about that. They want to see him do his dancing because they're hoping somebody knocks him the fuck out. That's what they want to see. Nobody gives a shit about the other stuff he was selling. Fuck off.
Yeah, and he's just, I don't know. If he was an American, I'd say just come out to Dennis Leary's I'm an asshole and let that be your shtick.
Yeah, that is his shtick. Just stick with it. You can't just keep Floyd ran that. Well, he lost all the money now anyway. But Floyd, every dime Floyd made when he left Pretty Boy and become money was because people tuned in to watch him lose. That's what Whitaker needs to feed off of. If Whitaker can fight for world titles and he can keep moving up, people will pay to actually watch him lose.
Yeah, but he has to fucking fight somebody the general public can actually could beat him. Not
that guy was an absolute train wreck. He fought
Brian.
Yeah, they need to get at this point in the game, they've got to step Whitaker up now. I mean, he's got all the amateur shit they talk about. He's already fought his 2 tough fights, his challenge fight to Liam Cameron. So he's like, it's time. They've got to put him in now. It's sink or swim now with him. They cannot keep putting him in versus this trash because you don't learn anything. You don't learn shit from beating the guys he beat. It's time to put him in a fight now. And let's just see if he's got it or he don't have it.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. It sucks. I mean, the card turned out that way, but there wasn't the only fight that looked good as I'm going through it as far as the results and like on paper. I'm like, that, looking beforehand, that might have been all right. Joe McGrail, who's still undefeated, and Aaron Hayden, who was undefeated going in there. That one on paper looked like it could have been a pretty interesting enough fight, but McGrail got a stoppage win over him, body shot.
Yep, good shot though.
Yeah, so good to get, good to see. I thought Peter was supposed to be on this card too. What the fuck happened to that?
I was going to say, the McGrail boys. Here's a question for everybody:
Peter McPhail.
which is your favorite knockout? To the body, or somebody gets completely cleaned up top? I think the body is to me, that's the ultimate boxing knockout. If you knock somebody out to the body, in my opinion,
I think the body shots sometimes are fun because like when that headshot lands, it's just like spark out like, oh shit. But the body shot, sometimes you have the delayed reaction and
crawl on the ground.
Yeah, it's not like their eyes are closed and they're out. It's like, fuck, this hurts. I can't get up. Ow. It's a little bit different. So yeah, I like the body. Yeah, that honestly, that was first fight that got me back into boxing, flipping channels, and Ricky Hatton knocking out Jose Luis Castillo.
Wait, Yimmy Yappy just said that Whitaker is going to be on the Boots undercard in New York. Well,
now you have to go, Justin.
Well, I'm thinking about going because that's not. I wouldn't say it's close, but it's not far from me. If I get to see Ben Whitaker live, that would probably make boxing worth it.
If you got hit by a bus on the way home, it wouldn't matter. Your life's ambitions have been filled.
That's it.
Yeah, Ben Whitaker. Just got to get a signed glove or something to add your collection. And then
they got to bring out what's our fucking guy that we hate? What's the dude? The New York guy.
Teofimo Lopez.
No, the other one that's about Whitaker's weight class. He fought like the prisoner.
Berlanga?
Yeah, bring Berlanga out for him, but make him move up or where they're at the same weight, right? Berlanga went up higher.
I think Berlanga went over to Zuffa.
To
fight at 175, yeah.
Well, Zuffa, that right there just sums up. If you think Zuffa is for real, then just end it right now.
They're so good at wasting money.
God, Berlanga is maybe I don't get into awful. That. He is absolutely. He is really. He really is. He really is awful. He
might be one of the worst title challengers in recent memory. And honestly, the fact that Canelo just didn't obliterate him in 5 rounds, like people should have known that the best Canelo wasn't there anymore, but they chose to deny their eyes. So,
God, Berlanga,
he's awful,
and he'll live off of that forever because he didn't get knocked out.
Yep,
he'll be a 70-year-old man, and he'll be telling his grandkids that he went 12 with Canelo. He won't tell them what level Canelo was at that time.
But that Mexican couldn't knock me out.
That right there that just shows, though, I said again, how much Canelo had left that he couldn't take Berlanga out. That just shows that because Berlanga is awful, and then whatever. We could go down this rabbit hole. We go pretty far on this shit.
Yeah. Leo Atang was on that card. He went the distance against Victor Shvravko. I know I said that wrong. Sorry, Victor, but life goes on. Victor was 6-32 going into that. Atang was deducted a point for using his head in the 4th round. Let's see if Mr. Jabagaru. Let's see. He's only been knocked out 3 times in a 39 fight career, so that's you kind of got to take that with the grain of salt. He is does appear to be kind of that classic journeyman style over there. Let's see here. I'm trying to see who he's been. A guy named Arlo Stevens knocked him out. Let's see what old Arlo is doing these days. He's only fought once more.
Arlo.
No, he hasn't fought since then.
Arlo Stevens.
Well, that's a shame for Arlo. He could have been a contender.
We also had we had that. I guess we had the Japanese world title fight card last week.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I missed that. Go ahead.
You had that.
Look at all these guys.
It was like Mendoza versus Simsri, or it was another. It was a Philippine. I think it's Philippine. I think his name is. I have no idea what his name is. I think it's like Simsri or some shit. You might be able to find it. It's something like that. But that was a good fight, and then he knocked him out. I think that Mendoza was like 27-0 with like 25 knockouts. And so we just see some guy, some of those punchers just can't take it.
Who was the headliner on that card?
That was them. It was Mendoza. I think it was Mendoza versus Simsri. You have to look that up. Fuck, I don't know. I'm not even close to how to say that guy's name.
Yeah, that I'm gonna get it with that information.
Victor Simsri. That's it. We'll go with that. I have Simbring. I think it was like Simbring Pang. I don't know what the hell. Sarisi. Fuck me. Khaleesi. Sarisi. You'll never find it. It was for the flyweight title. It was for a flyweight title. He is like, I didn't even know. I've only seen this guy fight one time. He's like 37-1. So he's one of these guys that nobody, of course, I don't even know his fucking name, but nobody ever sees these guys. And he is a Tekken guy, a Filipino Tekken guy. And so they have a lot of hope for him, and he had a good win. There was a ton of random Japanese guys on that card, like a lot of prospects on that card. 1-0, 2-0 type guys. But that main event was pretty good for a few rounds, and he just blitzed him.
Oh, you'll be happy to know that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. won his fight last night.
Yes,
he did. Won by stoppage at that. He's 40 years old now.
He's been around because he started so young. You remember when I was like rooting for John Duddy to beat him like 20 years ago. You remember that? God, that fight was like 20 years ago now or some shit when he fought John Duddy. You remember because that crowd was, Duddy had his big fan base. That was a big deal. People thought Duddy had a chance to win that fight, and then he just kind of got completely. He didn't have any chance. But
that was when Chavez Jr. was peaking.
Yes, he was hard to beat at that moment. He had a lot of movement. He was all energy. He was in really good shape. That was the top of his game, and that was like 20 years ago. I gotta look that. I remember when he fought John Duddy. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and then there was he had that fight that he might have lost against that dude from Minnesota, Matt something or other.
Oh God, you're right.
Matt Vanda.
Yes, Matt Vanda.
I did that without looking at fucking BoxRec.
That sounds like a Minnesota name.
I should get some respect for remembering that.
Yes, Matt Vanda. But Chavez, if you think about it, that's all that was his title reign. It was the Duddies, the Vandas, and then Martinez just completely outboxed him. Except for the final
that 12th round, man. That 12th round took a fucking year off of my life.
Because I kept thinking, please, God, get up. Don't go down. Don't go down.
You can't lose to this fucking asshole.
Especially when you just completely outclassed him.
It was so
for 11 rounds.
It was so easy, too.
So easy.
He went fucking jab upstairs, left to the body. Jab upstairs, left to the body. 55 fucking times over.
He put a clinic on him. And then just got. The same thing with.
That was the end of his knee. That was the problem. That was the end of his knee when he went down.
He almost pulled He almost pulled his dad move.
Oh yeah, against
completely
Taylor.
out. Yeah, completely out fault. And then, well, actually, his dad actually was way more competitive than he was in that fight.
Oh yeah, his dad was far more competitive against Meldrick Taylor
because, like we said though, Taylor was hurting more than he looked like going into that round because Chavez could absolutely pound, and Sheldrick Taylor was one of my favorite guys to fight. He was just so good of a boxer that I don't think people actually remember how good he was. People should go back.
Oh yeah,
and watch not Schilder, Mildred, and watch Taylor's fights. He was so smooth. He had a great corner.
His speed was just mental. That was the thing. Just like,
and then but Terry Norris, my favorite fighter, Terry Norris, able to just out got him, and then Chavez got him, and then after Chavez got him, he was not the same guy anymore. That was it. That was the end of his career. He was done. I think.
Yeah, that fight messed him up in a bad way.
His trainer was Duva, and Duva was like, "That's it." And he's done.
And what sucks is he should have gotten the win in that fight. Like, he really deserved to hear the final bell there, getting up.
Hey, but you got to make it to the end. I mean, you got to make it to the end.
I mean, he was up. He just looked away from the ref. Fuck. Awful decision.
That's funny that 1 second changed his whole life.
Yeah, I mean, Chavez I'll tell you, this is the thing about it. Chavez was a really a great fighter. I don't want to diminish him too much, but I think that Chavez is a bit overrated, particularly by the Mexican fan base. I'm not saying I don't want to go Haugen territory and say he just beat a bunch of fucking cab drivers or anything like that, but he had a fairly short prime, and he lost a lot of people. There you go. I made the argument that many have that he probably should have lost that Meldrick Taylor fight because the referee, the judging against Sweet Pea was god fucking awful, and yeah, he has exceptional W's on his resume and stuff, but I just think a little bit overrated. Like, I would definitely rate Morales, Barrera, Marquez higher than Chavez in career.
Oh, I'm a huge Marc Antonio Barrera fan.
Yeah,
and I think Barrera would have beat him if they would have been in the same time frame. I think Barrera would have beat him.
Well, same weight class too.
Yeah, and then like when he lost, Frankie Randall had the game plan because he saw how everybody else was basically beating him, and he had the game plan, and he was smooth, the surgeon, and that's how he beat him because he had that size on him, and he probably should have won the second fight.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I kind of think, God, this sounds bad. Like, Chavez Sr. was like a B+ version of Roberto Duran. Does that sound all right? Is that too offensive? An A- version of Roberto Duran?
Yeah. Duran definitely was the better career and better fighter. Yes, I think, in my opinion, but I get what you're saying.
They fought in a lot of the same ways, but Duran had so much more nuance to his, especially.
Oh yeah, there was more. He had more game,
subtleties and shit. Yeah,
he had more game, and that's something that's definitely going to divide a lot of people.
Yeah, it's like to open up the fan lines to our Hispanic audience now. Out.
Well, that's the key though. Is if you're a Hispanic boxing fan now, I mean, if you're our age, when we were watching boxing, really getting into it, that was about the end of Chavez. Like, that was when I started getting diehard at boxing was like 98, 99. That was about the end. That was done. I mean, he was over, really.
Oh yeah, because he lost the first time to De La Hoya in, what was it, 96?
Yeah, so that was pretty much the end of him. So we never actually got to see like him actually get out there and do it. So that's just a lot of people, their grandparents loved Chavez.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Chavez was a bad fighter. I'm just saying I think he was a little bit overrated, and there were some other Mexicans who actually, when you really look at it, were probably better fighters than he was, who don't get that level of acclaim.
Well, I'll say it here. I think Canelo's overrated.
Probably a little bit.
I mean, I think he's not hugely overrated, but he's slightly overrated. I'll go ahead and say that right now. Canelo is overrated.
Yeah, Canelo really deserved to lose the first Golovkin fight. I think he lost to Lara.
Lara beat him. Trout was right there with him.
Yep, Trout was right there with him.
I mean, anyway, we're pissing a lot of lot of Latino men out right now, but hey, it is what it is. Everybody's allowed to. You can have your opinion.
Yeah. The fact. I mean, I'm going to Vegas to watch Benavidez fight Ramirez. Like,
it's like I'm a diehard.
It's my thing. I just happen to have an opinion on it.
Like I'm a diehard Klitschko fan, and I know people hate his guts and think he's completely overrated trash. And I love Klitschko. I loved every second of his career. But there's people that think he's the biggest.
Long reign, dude. That's the thing about it. I don't care how limited you think somebody is. That was a long reign.
Yeah. So I mean, he's definitely one of my top 5 of all time, and people think he's a joke. So everybody has their guys.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Vlad, but I am definitely Vitali. Yeah, I was a Vitali guy, and I always wish that his shoulder was in better shape, because it definitely screwed with his prime for sure. I mean, that it might have started with that Chris Bird fight. Funny enough, everybody gives him shit for that. I mean, he probably could have made it to the finish line with that shoulder, to be honest with you. But that might have been the start of a lot of his problems. Was actually that particular injury might have, and it just followed him here and there. But he had some good W's. I mean, he took out Corey Sanders in, what was it, 4 rounds?
Well, he had to be his brother's revenge fighter for like 3 years. Every time somebody, you knew when you beat Vladimir, you was going to get knocked out by his brother in like a few months. That happened to like 3 or 4 different guys. Like if you beat Vlad, well, you get ready to get destroyed, because his brother's going to be pissed now, and he's getting ready to just light you up. And he did that like 3 times.
Yeah, not like
destroyed people.
And let's find, like, Vitali, like, he's a good finisher and shit like that, but Vitali was actually a very relaxed guy in the ring. I mean, that kickboxing style he had, just kind of lean back, high vol, like, kind of what Miller did, but like, it looked good when Vitali did it, like, just a lot of short shots, you know.
I never thought we was going to get the big baby, but I never thought we would get the Baby Miller Vitali Klitschko reference.
Yeah, everything would just
similarities. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it was short and concise, but like, yeah, Vitali, like, and he just busted people up so badly. Like, I just remember watching the Shannon Briggs fight, and you got to remember that's post prime graying Vitali Klitschko at that point in time. Like, and like, I'm just watching, like, what the fuck did Briggs do to the referee? Like, my God, just fucking.
Well, that's the difference between the two. Vlad was lights out, one shot power.
Yeah, he leveraged it. He didn't.
Vitali was sledgehammer. I'm going to beat the shit out of you power. And that's what that was the difference. Vitali had that, like, it's going to take me a little bit, but I'm going to beat the hell out of you power.
He was an arm puncher. That's what people, like, he was absolutely an arm puncher. He was not turning into his shot.
So that's why if you're Shannon Briggs, you'd rather had his brother just knock you out cold instead of just getting the shit kicked out of you for the whole fight. That was the difference between the two brothers. And if they ever, I think Chuck we brought up, if they ever fought, Vitali would have beat Vlad.
I think so too.
Now, I don't know, not the newer Vlad version though.
No,
that was a different guy.
Let's say like the Vitali who fought Lennox and the Vlad who fought Samuel Peter the second time around.
That would have been.
I take Vitali.
But let's say pre-Stewart, Vitali every day of the week.
Oh yeah.
After Emmanuel Stewart, Vitali's not going to get close enough to do anything with him.
Maybe, yeah, because that's the one thing is there's not very many people who had the height and the lever length to get over the top on Vitali, and of course Vlad did. So that's what would have made it interesting. I had kind of wanted to see either of them fight Valuev though, because I think both of them would have fucking stopped Valuev. It would have been hilarious.
I don't think Valuev could have took either one's power for that long of time. I mean, he had a good chin.
He was so slow.
But Vladimir would have just 1-2. He eventually could have took all those shots.
Mm-hmm.
Not every, because what would have been the game plan for him? He's not going to get a hold of Klitschko. He didn't have really that kind of power at that level. They would have Vitali would have really hurt him. Vladimir, I think, would have just laid him out.
Yeah. God, that's an ugly man.
How about Tua versus Valuev? 7 foot versus like 5'10". Now that would have been a funny fight to watch.
Yeah, that would have been pretty hilarious. Anyhow, I'm gonna go on my and Evander Holyfield should have been a tight list rant here again.
Yeah.
If we don't stop this fucking chat, but let's see. I'm trying to think anything else that occurred. Oh, there's the women's card. So sorry, Justin, I hate to say this, but Alicia Baumgartner got it was a good fight with her and Bore Mishin.
I'm going to mute myself. Let you have this.
Yeah, you go ahead. It was a good fight. Actually, Baumgartner won it convincingly, but I was thoroughly entertained by this particular scrap. It was a good matchup where both of them were very capable fighters. It's just that Baumgartner just that little bit better basically in all categories. But Bomi Ray Shin still towards the end trying to win. So we'll see. I'm hoping since they're all doing the TK or not TKO thing, the Jake Paul thing, whatever the fuck his company MVP and whatever acronym they chose. I'm hoping that Baumgartner and Caroline Dubois end up getting in the ring because that's a fight. That's a good fight.
We could go ahead and say this. I don't think Zuffa is going to come after any of his boxers.
You might be right.
Just leaving that out there. Not for. I think we all know why they're not coming after.
I'll tell you what. Who was on the undercard that they might like is that Jamal Harvey. I'm
talking about the whole female cast. I think they're safe.
Yeah. I don't even think Zuffa's getting into women's boxing. So there you go. There's your safe haven.
They probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
We don't want to get into the whole
other
aspects of it, but yeah, they're definitely not going to.
But then there was a scary moment though. Shadeja Green in Lanny Daniels, Lonnie, however the fuck they want to say it, and as you're going down the stretch, Daniels definitely started taking over the fight, saying, "Damn it, I will not just be known for losing to the GOAT." And she started putting it on Green, and Green got cornered, took a good handful of unanswered shots. The ref stepped in, and Green found her way to the hospital with a brain bleed, and Lanny Daniels found herself at the IVF and WBO super middleweight women's titles. Green is doing okay now, but that was pretty freaky shit on the women's side of the ledger there. So we do wish her the best. Hopefully she makes the right decision moving forward as to whether she wants to continue or not. But that was not pretty. So anyhow, that was, but yeah, if you go back, the Baumgartner Bomi Ray Shin, that's a good fight, and you got to say Bomi Ray Shin, which I think is a good time in and of itself.
It's a damn good name.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Damn good name.
4 names, fucking all. It's shorter than my last name. It's bullshit. Fucking lucky motherfuckers. But anyhow, that's me against language. But there just wasn't a whole lot. Like I said, there's a reason we took a week off, and then with the
our nickname should be the Bone.
Where are you gonna put it?
No, Bo Ray Shin, the Bone.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like
I have no idea.
Between what?
At the end, I guess you have to edit. I guess you have to say it at the end. I have no idea.
Bore me the bone shin.
Shin bone. I don't know. I'm trying to make her more exciting for the women's game. I have no idea.
Bore me shin bone. I don't know anymore. But yes, but it just. It got canceled there, and it's just a damn shame at the end of the day that these things fall apart, but so they do, and away we go into what's coming up this week. Let's see, where do we want to start this off? Let me make sure that I don't skip over anything because there's plenty of time. Yeah, it only took us 50 minutes, and I don't even think how fucking we really made any salient points at the end of the day. Let's see here. Boxing scene. We'll go to the boxing scene. They have a little more complete schedule. But they also have ads that pop up. Oh boy. On Wednesday, hang on to your hats, folks. Down in Australia, Sky Nicholson and Mariah Turner gonna be fighting Jake Wiley, who I think we remember him giving Kambosos some fits, taking on Miles Zalewski. I also think that Tara Moana is on that card as well. So you've got that going for you on Wednesday. I know, be still your beating hearts.
So if you got a nice $100 laying around, you can have that pay-per-view.
There you go. Yes, unless you
So
don't live in Australia, then you can just probably watch it.
So I think we've seen with her, she's just not leaving Australia probably for years because they love her down there, and she don't have to fight anybody. So they've got a good system with her now down there.
She's just not much of a puncher, like
at all.
And like I know that's like like a woman's boxer who's not a puncher, huh? Isn't that superfluous? Like
she looks like
even further.
She has like the skill of like a boxer size teacher. That's what she looks like. Somebody like teaching a class, and like that's about her level. In my opinion, I don't even watch.
I think she's a little better than that, but yeah,
that's what I'm going with it. I'm going with my first thought.
Okay, so that one. So we got that fight. Let's see here. Then if we go over to Friday, gonna have a Pro Box card with Senvatar Erdinabat against Kobia Breedy. I only know one of those people, and I probably still can't say his name right. And then Francois Scarborough versus Maxwell Montez. So that's going to be on Pro Box from Hanover, Maryland. Yay. Then on Saturday, from Wolverhampton. Oh boy, Steve's got to be smiling. Gonna have Conah against Sam Eggington, and Bilal Fawaz against Ryan Kelly, Kieran Conway against Mark Jeffers. Honestly, that's not a bad card. I kind of think Sam Eggington is a little bit long in the tooth right now, and Walker should probably find his way through that fight relatively easily. But it'll be action while it lasts. I think Fawaz and Ryan Kelly could be a good one too.
That's a decent British card.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's like that's not a bad little way to. That's not a horrible card. It's a pretty good card.
No, it's fucking better than that Ben Spitaker card. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, he had the draw, then the majority decision over Junaid Bostain, and then or Boston, however the fuck you say it. If he wants to ignore it, whatever. Ishmael Davis, he had a majority decision over him as well. And going in against Ryan Kelly, who recently, what has Mr. Kelly done? He's on a little bit of a bad skid there. He just had a little points win over a journeyman to get his feet wet again. Lost to Egyarko by majority decision. So he's just been on the wrong side of where Fawaz has been on the right side recently, I guess you could say. Because he has, that was a majority decision. He lost to Egyarko. And then Conway, he lost a split decision to as well. And then he had a draw against Graham Warburton. Lost a split decision to Brad Pauls. That's a lot of split fucking decisions on there. Hamza Shiraz actually stopped him. Lost to Michael McKinson, who I think I've spoken about him enough on this podcast.
Is he still alive?
Oh, he's alive. He's just probably not doing much anymore.
I think he's pretty much done.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's a not a bad fight at all on that one because I mean Kelly is. He just ended up on the bad side of decisions, where Fawaz recently has ended up on the good side of his. Their records could be relatively interchangeable. A few things gone different. And good old Sam, he's won a couple in a row. He beat Lee Cutler, and he had a little points win after he had lost to Boss Barreau. And he did only lose that one by majority decision, and Barreau ended up being fucking tightless. So I don't know. Maybe gives Walker a little bit of a better shake than we're thinking. Maybe I was getting thinking a little too hard on that one.
I think you're correct. I thought you thought exactly the way you should be thinking.
I
think Eggington might give him a good little scrap, but I don't think he's going to win.
Yeah.
You never know with Eggington. He's another guy that's been around forever. That just keeps popping up.
Yeah. Then let's see here. Kieran Conway coming off a loss to George Littard, losing by a stoppage in that one, going in against Mark Jeffers, who's coming off of back-to-back losses, a stoppage defeat himself to Willie Hutchinson, and majority decision defeat to Sean Hemphill. So that's a decent little crossroads one. Adds some interesting, little bit of intrigue to that battle there. So yeah, that one not a bad little fight. Shannon Ryan on there. I know everybody's so excited about that. The aforementioned Janae Boston is on there as well. First fight since those pair of fights with Fawaz. So yeah, that's not a bad card, honestly. I can decent little undercard on that one. See here, and then yeah. So then, I guess we'll go into the one that I'm going out to Las Vegas for. Oh, what an exciting time it will be! Let's work our way up the undercard here. I'm actually going to pull this up on BoxRec. It'll be a little bit easier. But yeah, this will be a nice one for Cinco de Mayo weekend. The Hispanic folks going to be out in force. Hopefully, not ICE won't be joining them. Optimistically, as we leave the T-Mobile Center. But yeah, let's see here. So we've got Jorge Chavez against Jose Tito Sanchez. Both these guys 15-0-1. Chavez has a draw on his record to Manuel Flores in a fight that he won the rematch of just a couple months after there. So yeah, he avenged it. Sanchez 15-0, 9 knockouts. He hasn't really fought anybody of note, but he has a few decent guys with a decent enough record. He hasn't been fighting just your dudes with a losing record recently. So that one, a decent little battle between undefeateds there. Got Isaac Lucero, Isak probably, who was 18-0 against Ismael Flores, who's 17-1-1. But he's been on a streak since he lost a fight to Jorge Fortea. He also had a draw on his resume to a 6-13 Anderson Rangel. But since that loss in 2023, he has reeled off, what is that, 7 victories in a row against a few guys with decent records on there, 19-2, 7-0, 12-2. So, yeah, that's could be a decent one as well. Then Oscar Duarte is getting in there against, this is kind of a pushover fight. They wish they probably had something better for him planned and ended up being this. Going against Angel Daniel Fierro Barrera. It's a lot of words. I think I might have just known him as Angel Fierro, and that might make my fucking life easier if I remember that.
That was his name was Angel Fierro.
Yep, that is the one. Yep. I mean, he's better than his record would indicate. He had a DQ loss late last year. Oh yeah, I remember that. He was DQ'd for kicking his opponent.
Yeah.
So you were rewarded with a spot on a pay-per-view for kicking an opponent?
I mean, it must have been a hell of a kick.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they figured. Yeah, Duarte. I mean, they might have had this plan for Duarte. I don't really know where they're going to go with him. So this might have been the plan anyway. I don't think there's a. I really don't know where they're going to go with him. So this might be.
I don't know.
Probably was the plan then, because I don't really know. Duarte's not like a. People aren't really clamoring to fight him. He doesn't have.
He's a good puncher.
So it's like this probably was where they were going with him. I imagine it's hard to find him the opponents they want, because he's like a risk reward type guy, because you don't offer anything if you beat him, honestly, and you could easily lose. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but Fierro's never been stopped, so there is that. Yeah, so if Duarte can get a stoppage over him, that's I guess is a feather in his cap. If there's something he's trying to do, a statement he's trying to make, because yeah, he was supposed to fight Richardson Hitchens.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Hitchens couldn't make weight, and then he went to I think he went to Zuffa. so yeah, maybe I don't know. This is
too much.
If this is for like a vacant belt or something like that, I mean, that's just fucking boxing in a nutshell for you. It doesn't make sense. Make it up as we go. So, and then God, this card's just littered with like fights that shouldn't fucking happen. And then Jose Armando Resendez, like a year after, winning a belt, a vacant belt, or something, or fucking ever. After he upset Caleb Plant, shocking the world, is going in against Jaime Munguia, who tested positive for drugs. And now he's back in there. But
how in the hell? This is what I said. How in the hell does Jaime Munguia get a shot at a belt on a Cinco de Mayo pay-per-view?
What's crazy is they don't even have that as a no contest.
Where's the French guy at? Should he be in here? He should be fighting this. He should actually.
Yeah. What did Bruno Sarash deserve this, you dicks?
I have no idea what. This was basically, we got to get a Mexican guy on this card.
Well, they got a bunch of them.
We got to add another guy to it. This is like, get Munguia in there. People know him. So I would say Resendez will win that fight.
I hope so.
Munguia has nothing left. He showed versus Sarash.
He got knocked out by a guy who had 4 fucking knockouts on his leg.
Yes, and they were all French journeymen. So I'm not trying to knock the French journeyman level, but I'm just saying I don't think it's the top of the top. The French journeyman, I don't think they're sitting there knocking people's doors down with their talent level. And so Resendez, but the only thing that could give Munguia a chance is Resendez hadn't fought in a long time, and he beat a past it Caleb Plant. So
way past it.
We don't know if Resendez is any good or not. Munguia might stop him in the first round for all we know. But I would like to think that Resendez, he looked decent versus Plant, that he would have enough to beat this version of. And it's so funny. The Munguia is still only like 30 years old. He's like, but he's like 30 years old. He's like, but he looks like, but in boxing terms, he's 78 years old.
I still remember when they were trying to put him in with fucking Golovkin at late notice.
When he was like, what, 19?
Yeah, he was like 19 or 20-0 or something like that. And like, I'll fight Golovkin. Fuck it.
I don't know who thought that was a good idea.
Well, thank God the WBC put a stop to that.
Yes,
they were like, they could have done for his career.
At least Martirosyan at the time was, more professional. He just like, I wouldn't even say Martirosyan didn't even deserve the shot either. But at least it was better than a kid, because Munguia was a kid who would have got really hurt in that fight.
Yeah, he was a fucking human punching bag.
He still is. He has changed. But I keep looking at Munguia, and he has the face. He looks like he's a young guy. He is. But this has to be Munguia's last chance. I mean, this is a gift beyond gift. To be on a Cinco de Mayo Las Vegas card, fighting for a world title that you did not deserve at all to be in. This has to be like, this is it. This is my last. What he really should have done was fire Eric Morales and hire Mark Antonio Barrera. Really mix it up a little bit. That's what I would have done. And started blaming Morales for the loss. And then I'm gonna hire. That's what he should have done to really get it going and get the whole feud started again. But yeah, I hope Resendez just ends Munguia. I hate when a guy gets a title shot that he had no business getting, and then they win. That just is like, I know life's not fair, but that is bullshit.
No, life is not fair.
That definitely is not fair. But Munguia is just, he's never been that good. He's always just been durable. And even when he was fighting guys, when he first started, when he was fresh, he was still taking hellacious shots from these no-name guys. We're still just nailing him in the face. He's not a heavy puncher. He never was. He's like, I'll wear you down type puncher.
Mm-hmm.
So that led to, that's not going to be a long career. You're not that skillful. You're just known for being tough. We all knew that his career was going to be short as hell. And it is. If Resendez knocks him out, this might be the end of Munguia. And they'll probably drag him out to some random card like, Saturday night in Tijuana, and nobody will ever watch.
Fighting in a bull ring. Oh, there'll be people that would watch.
There'll people that still go watch, but as far as the world level, if he gets knocked out, that's it. He's done.
I would think so. And it needs to happen. Like that popping positive, and that it's still like, it's not a no contest on his record or anything. It's so fucking weird. I don't understand this sport. I don't get it. It's getting stranger and stranger by the fucking day. But what can you do? But, there are, considering that the fight that is the main event, there's no real drama about it. Just two guys going at it as they've grown through the weight classes, find themselves facing off at cruiserweight, despite both of them really getting their careers going at 168. I'm talking about David Benavidez Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. I'm going to Vegas for a reason. I think this is going to be a hell of a war. Benavidez is a big favorite in this one. Not a huge favorite, I guess. I think I think Zurdo was paying like 5-2 last I looked, somewhere around there. But I think the more I think about this fight, I think it might be a little bit closer to a 50-50 than folks want to think. I don't know. I've got a hunch here. What are your thoughts on this one going into it, Justin? I'm curious.
I agree with you. I think it's closer than people think it is because Zurdo has kind of filled out at this weight.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of found like this is where he needs to be. He's looked pretty good at cruiserweight. I mean, he hasn't looked spectacular, but he's looked good. You know, Zurdo's got a good chin. I don't think Benavidez has already shown now. He's not the same guy when he fights people his size as far as the power. And he was, I hate to use the word bully people, but when he was absolutely killing himself to get down to the smaller weights, he was just so much bigger than everybody. And plus his skill level, who was going to really fight him at that time? He was just, you were going to have a hell of a time fighting him. But now he's gone up now. So this is not his natural weight where he's been fighting. This is I would not be stunned. I would not be surprised if Ramirez beat him. I think Benavidez, I'll put it this way. I think Zurdo is more talented. People might disagree. I think as far as shots, skill-wise level, Zurdo is right there with him. He has all the shots. He has the boxing IQ. There's not a difference in that for me. I think Benavidez has always had the motor. He overwhelms you. He pushes you back. That's always been his thing. That's not going to happen versus Ramirez. He's not going to be able to punk him and throw him back and put his will on him. So this is going to be but it is going to be the first time in a long time that Ramirez is going to be forced to absolutely go to war. And that's not what he's done a ton of in his career. That to me, that's what I'm looking for, because Ramirez, that's not what he does. He's been in a couple of good scraps, but he doesn't go to war. Benavidez is going to make him do that. So that's where this fight is very interesting. If I had to, I don't know if we're doing predictions, but I'll go ahead and just sling it out there. I was thinking about it yesterday. If I had to predict, I think Benavidez wins a really close fight. I think he wins it tight. I don't think either guy is going to get. I don't think we're going to see a knockout. I just
probably not.
If it is a knockout, it would be Benavidez, but he's already shown. Look at who did he come up against in his cruiserweight when he made that little went up for one fight and went down? Who the hell was that guy he fought where he didn't look that good at all at cruiserweight? Who the hell was he fighting that? Do you remember that? Remember he went up for that one fight, then he went back down again. Or did he do that? Or I'm just maybe.
I don't think so, because I'm going through it, because the only guy who he really, really the only guys who he's had any struggles with, he can plant to some degree, but that fight should have been stopped towards the end. Yeah. He was beating the shit out of him. Ronald Gabriel in the first fight. Remember, he dropped him in the last round. And Morel, who dropped him in the 11th, gave him some troubles too. But at the same time, he got through those fights, and he has a fairly good record against southpaws too. I mean,
Zurdo is just as skilled as Morel, and he's way bigger.
I don't know he's as skilled as Morel.
I don't think the skill level is crazy different though. I don't think it's like drastically different skill level. And then you got to factor in he's so much bigger. Benavidez was way bigger than Morel, I thought. I mean, I just thought size-wise. I think that's what I got stuck in my head. That this is going to be the first guy Benavidez has truly fought that's going to be right with him, strength and size-wise. Legit with him. That is going to be that's just one of the factors of this fight, because size-wise, he hasn't fought many guys that are with him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be different.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what's fun about this fight is both of them are really good at putting their combinations together. Yeah. Like it's mapped out to potentially be like a really high volume 12 round fight that could maybe go either way. I kind of think a draw is an interesting play on this one a little bit, because I mean, both of them are going to be getting cheers from the crowd. It's not going to be like a white dude against a Mexican or anything like that. Like, yeah, I know Benavidez, he's Ecuadorian or Guatemala. I'm trying to remember what he is on top of, but nonetheless, the crowd's not going to be crazy and
but
one way or the
Benavidez,
other.
let's put it this way: he's American.
He is.
He's trying to pull an Andy Ruiz on us. That's like Benavidez is trying to pull that Andy Ruiz. He's from Phoenix, and he is full-blooded American.
Yeah,
he was born and raised in the USA. He is full American. But when they get in the ring, that's over with. Like, I'm not American at all. I'm like, that shouldn't bug you, but it's like, you are American. Just tell everybody. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You're an American. That's it. But Andy Ruiz, you remember Andy Ruiz was like, when he fought, oh no, when I beat
first Mexican heavyweight champ.
Yeah, when he beat Joshua, he's never even been to the United States before. That's why they were playing it off. He was born and raised, and that's why they were playing it off. And I'm like, hold on,
like, no,
he's more American than I am.
He used to go over there to see his cousins and get dental care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just me. I'm like, but yeah, and but Zurdo, I guess Zurdo can play that off. That somebody's going to play that off in the crowd. Well, Zurdo's a real Mexican. They're going to. That's kind of things you can play off too, and different. That's kind of little stuff to get the crowd going as well. As I'm the real true fighter, and they all got little shit like that they can play.
It's always the machismo battle with those guys.
It is. It's like I'm born and raised here, and you don't know what it is, and like that was the Barrera Morales conversation, and the De La Hoya shit, all that stuff is I'm real.
And Vargas, yeah,
I'm real. You're not real, and so Zurdo, I guess, can play that off if he wants to, but Zurdo's not really Zurdo's going to lose the battle of trash talking. That's not what he does.
I don't think these guys particularly dislike each other. I just think
don't.
It's going to be a good, fun boxing match.
It should be a good fight. Let's put it that way. I don't see how it would be a bad one unless they just start hugging and they kind of negate each other, which I don't see that happening either.
It's just not in their MOs. It would be a new turn of events.
Yeah, neither guy really. Even when Zurdo looked bad, he was still throwing his punches and moving. He was still doing things. He wasn't like holding guys and trying to make it ugly. He still was doing his thing. So I don't think it should be a good fight. We'll see. For your sake, since you're going, I guess we hope it's a good fight.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say, I think if any of these guys has proven themselves more consistently at a higher level, it's probably Benavidez.
Probably.
Because the few black guys on Zurdo, like the Jesse Hart fight was a rough one. He really struggled in that one. Bivol, it was Bivol, but he absolutely schooled his ass. And then there was a fight that he was supposed to have at light heavyweight, and he blew weight by 8 or 9 pounds. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what that one was.
But Bivol, you can't count Bivol. That's just a different level of skill. That I don't give anybody a black eye if you get completely schooled by him. That's just is what it is. That is what it is. There's levels to everything in this world, and that was just a different level. And also, Ramirez probably was already killing himself at that weight anyway.
Yeah, to miss it by that much, and the fact that he ended up going to cruiserweight.
He still would have lost to Bivol, but I'm saying we all know he could not have been 100% in that Bivol fight because he was like a skeleton to get himself down that far.
Yeah, he's 6'3".
It's not easy. It's not easy to get down that when you're that big.
And one of the only guys who fought Benavidez who's his height or taller is Ronald Gavril, and he gave him a rough time.
That to me is the deciding factor is Benavidez for the first time is going against a guy with a legit chin and his same size, and that he can't bully.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. If I don't know where either guy goes. I think if Ramirez wins, he might move up to heavyweight because what's left to prove at cruiserweight? Honestly, he's not, unless he goes to Zuffa, he's not going to fight Opataya. That's done. That fight's been completely locked out. Unless you remember what Eddie Hearn said: "If you don't go to the zone, there's no fights for you."
Yes, I do.
That is literally what Zuffa has done. If you don't go to Zuffa, you're not getting a fight for any of these titles we have. They have made that very clear, probably. So yeah, I mean Ramirez might as well. Whoever wins this fight might as well go up or go to Zuffa. There's not a ton of choices now.
Well, and with the Apataya with Zuffa, I mean that's what that would make sense. Is that honestly like the loser? I mean, might as well go and get that payday. They probably give you a decent one off just so they can challenge Jai.
But that's not how that's going to work though, because aren't you challenging him for the Zuffa belt?
Exactly.
So why the hell? So you're not actually. Who the fuck wants that crap? Nobody wants that trash.
They want the payday. That's it.
That's it. I mean,
but like their fights for getting into their position to fight for titles. I mean, they're paying those guys fucking bunk. Like it's.
Well,
I don't understand the business
got 15
model. Maybe I'm stupid.
If Ben got 15, I would say whoever wins this fight, Zuffa's probably going to give them 20 to fight Opataya. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's 10 million up. I guarantee you. If you win this fight, because they got to find Opataya somebody.
Yeah.
And so that's probably what they would pay.
Probably like, I don't know, maybe like 3 to 5 range you might be able to get out.
Who knows? I mean, I guess Ben's the moneymaker, I guess these guys don't bring in the same kind of, because if Ben fought on Cinco de Mayo in Las Vegas, sell out.
Oh, 100%.
So that's why he gets the money.
There would only be 50 people in the room. It would be like at a big suite, but it would sell out.
God, that was him and Pistol Pete Dobson was a very sad event.
Matinee in Vegas.
It's just the family. There was it was the family or people that wandered into the wrong room that were staying at the hotel.
I was like, fuck, we were looking for the buffet.
That's exactly that's the only thing I can think of why you were there. It's not like Ben has the people from England traveling over to watch him fight on a matinee versus Pistol Pete.
Yeah, that was not like fucking people following Ricky Hatton out to fight Floyd Mayweather.
Carrying Ben to the lobby.
Yeah,
of the hotel. I don't think that's gonna happen.
20 people came over, and half of them are on his team. But yeah.
Anyway,
it's going to be a fun card. Of all those ones I went through, one or two of those fights just has to be a banger. Like you can't put that many Hispanic people in a boxing ring against each other and not get fireworks.
Yeah, there's going to be one that's going to jump off.
Yeah,
that's going to at least get going. You hope. I mean, you hope, because that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah, and
all that.
I think Munguia and Resendez is going to be going to be really good, but it's just hard to like look at it favorably because Munguia doesn't deserve the fucking opportunity.
It does not,
so it's just kind of a bummer. But style wise, it should be a really fun fight. So
and Munguia's going to have his fans. He always has a pretty good group of people that travel with him. Well, so that'll be.
He used to have a pretty good group to travel with him, Justin. Things are changing a little bit and wandering over here.
I want to see Bruno in the front row. like
waving a French. Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious.
The camera keeps showing him like he's going to get the winner, and they keep showing him in the front row of the crowd. There's no way in hell he's getting any tickets.
No, he's not. Well, it'd particularly be funny because Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of beating the French and pushing them out of Mexico.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
No, how hilarious would it have been if he'd have knocked him out on this card? That would have been funnier. That would have been funnier. And
it took 200 years, but we have our revenge, you motherfuckers.
Yes, the sauce come over and took you out.
The sauce, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the sauce. The sauce. He's got the built-in name. It's done. But yeah, it should be a decent card and a good main event. I don't know if it'll be great, but it should be good.
Yeah. Let's take a gander at the biggin that we're looking at. And this is, I'm trying to figure out, I hate to say this, but I think we might just be stuck fucking getting trying to having to get the pay-per-view and watching it on a laptop, because I'm not entirely positive of anywhere that's going to be showing the fight in Vegas at 5 a.m. at zone pay-per-view with those fucking licensing prices. But maybe we'll get lucky.
It's not part of the DAZN Elite package.
I don't. It is part of it, but I don't have any DAZN, so that's why I say you might have to buy the pay-per-view. Son of a bitch! Wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, buy a pay-per-view when you're half asleep. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, we're going to be going over to Japan, to the Tokyo Dome. Let's work our way up the undercard because there's some names on here that I want to say. Gonna have Yoshiki Takei coming in against after a loss against Dekang Wang. I didn't make that name up, friends. Takei lost to Christian Medina. He got stopped in the 4th round last year in September. Trying to get it back again. Mr. Dekang Wang, he is Chinese, and he lost in 2024. So he's coming off a 2-year layup.
Wasn't that an old joke? There's more Wangs in here than a Chinese phone book.
No, that's Chins.
Wangs works as well.
Yeah, he lost to Philippus Ingitumvwa. That's my best guess. That's a lot of consecutive consonants, even further making things difficult, more so than 3 vowels in succession. So Philippus Ingitumvwa beat Mr. Dekang Wang, but we'll see if Yoshiki Takei can pull off the same. We wish him well. Diok no Yun is taking on Yuitu Moriwaki. I probably said one or both of those wrongs. Deek No Yun, 10-2-1, taking on the 1-0-1 Yuitu Moriwaki. This is 10 rounds at super middleweight. 1-0-1 for Mr. Moriwaki. He beat Hasso Beck, and then he. This is a rematch, Justin. It's a rematch with Mr. Moriwaki and Deek No Yun. Interesting. They went to a technical draw, so they did not were not able to finish the contest. But at the time of the stoppage, Mr. Moriwaki was up 2 rounds to 1. With probably a knockdown, it looks like on there because it was 29-27 actually.
It's the rematch we had to have.
It's the world was clamoring for it. Who were they to deny? Were they to deny?
They must feel they got something in Milwaukee.
And yep, there you go. And then we're also going to see Kosuke Tamioka against Shogo Tanaka. Those were a little bit easier for me. Mr. Tamioka is 11-4 on a 4-fight winning streak, and Shogo Tanaka is 5-0 currently. Let's take a look behind those numbers here. So let's see here. Mr. Tomioka has been stopped 3 times. His last defeat was a split decision, though, so clearly on his way up. And he's got a win over a 21-1 guy and 11-2-2 guy since then. He hasn't really fought anyone of note, and usually some of these names from Asia pop out at me for some dumb reason. I don't know, because I wake up and watch fights at 4:00 in the morning. So I have no picks in this one. You'd think it'd have to be the undefeated Shogo Tanaka, but he's, you know what? He hasn't. Interesting. Mr. Tanaka has not fought a fighter with a losing record yet in his career. So they have high hopes for him. He's fought an 8-2 guy, 3-1, 2-0-1, 25-5-1, 18-9-2. So I worry for Mr. Tomioka. And then we're going to have Sora Tanaka, another Tanaka. Are they related, or is it like Jones? Going in against Jin Sasaki. We know that name. This one's going to be over 10 rounds. Mr. Tanaka, also 5-0, 5 stoppages. He's just been knocking these mofos out. He has fought a guy with a losing record, though, 3-4-1.
So they're cashing in Jin Sasaki then.
We'll see.
That's what it looks like on paper.
He beat 11-3 Chan Sala by stoppage in the second round. Ador Torres, 12-6-1 at the time. He succumbed to the same fate. 14-7-1 Takuru Kobata, and then Shoki Sakai, 29-15-3. Nope, you're 30-15 and you're 29-16-3, bitch. Yep. So they're going in against Mr. Tanaka. Sasaki, we'll see if you got anything left there, Sasaki-san. And then Toshiki Shimomachi going against Raya Abe. I know Abe. I've seen him fight.
I know Abe, yep.
Let's see here. Mr. Shimomachi, 22-1-3 draws. Oh, man, might want to bet that draw, huh? His last fight out, he beat Hanso Lee, who was only 9-7, taking it slow. He also has wins over 11-1, 13-1. The draw was 16-1. Toshiya Ishii The draw was 7-4, Daisuke Watanabe. A draw with 3-0, Yunahara. And then he lost to the 4-2, Yasuki Hiranuma. I'm going to have to learn Japanese, I guess. It kind of rolls off the tongue. He also has a win over, get this, New Thunder Teruya.
That's got to be a sponsor name.
I don't
New Thunder.
So that one, and Abe, let's see, he's 3-0-1 in his last run here. Taking it a little bit lightly. His loss was to Luis Alberto Lopez. I think I remember that fight. Yep, he got
that was a good fight.
Yeah. He went. He gave a good account himself. He has a win over Kiko. I think he was the guy that sent Kiko into retirement, actually. So yeah, he's been on a good swing, just with the little in there, but Mr. Shimomachi might just have too much for him. But you know what? When you have 5 draws on the combined records of these guys, it makes you think maybe it's time for the draw. And then this one, a lot easier to speak of, and that is going to be Takuma Inoue and Kazuto Ioka. We know these guys. This is the lesser talented Inoue, but he's still a damn decent fighter. Ioka going for another weight class in another title in another weight class. God love him. He is, in my opinion, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the Japanese greats of this generation. Maybe going too high in weight, maybe pushing himself a little bit too far. You have to respect Inoue. Obviously, he lost his belt to Tsutsumi, and then he came back with a win over Nasukawa, who got the win over Estrada. He lost earlier in his career to Ubali, who Donaire ended up beating on his comeback tour when he had his nice little run there. But Inoue looked good. I mean, really, after that Ubali fight, he kind of rebuilt himself. It looks like during COVID, and he built himself well. And that win over Nkajas, where he got the stoppage, that really cemented where he is at.
Because he's not a puncher either. So that was a good win.
Yeah, he did really good work to the body in that one. And so this is an interesting fight. What does Kazuto Ioka have left? If there wasn't such a size disparity, and I hadn't seen Ioka on, he's been on a rough run. He lost those 2 fights to Martinez, but he was on a good go before that. He had that draw against Franco, avenged it. He got a win on New Year's over a 15-1 guy, Michael Ordaz-Gotti. So I don't know. It's tough to write him off. Then that was at 118, but I just kind of think, going back to, as we just mentioned, Tenshin Nasukawa beating Juan Francisco Estrada, another one of my favorite fighters over the last 10, 12 years. Estrada just won too many fights, just one weight class too many. I got the same vibe, Justin. I've got the same vibe.
You're probably right. Inoue he's not nothing to like write home about, but you're right. I think Ioka it's probably too much at this point. I mean, I want Ioka to win. It'd be a cool story, but it's probably too much at this moment of his career to ask him to keep doing it. But I mean, I'll say it again, this Inoue he's talented, but he's okay.
It's tough when your brother is who he is.
Yeah.
What bar are we setting for him? Are we setting a fair bar for Takuma if we remove his brother from the equation?
It's a fair bar. He's just even if his brother didn't exist, he would still be an average fighter. I mean, that's
an average title level fighter.
Yeah, that's what he is.
That's the key.
So Ioka, I think I'm with you. I think Inoue, I don't think he'll stop him, but I wouldn't be stunned if he didn't stop him. But I think he wins probably like 116, 112 probably.
Yeah, and it'll probably be a good fight. I mean, Ioka is rarely in a bad fight. I mean, even in defeat to Martinez, I had fun watching both of those. They're good scraps. He's always been good bang for your buck. And I mean,
but how much can you keep taking, though, I guess is the point.
Yeah, and this is either going to be his 4th or his 5th weight class, where he's a titleist if he's able to achieve it, because he won at 105 and 108 I'm sure, and I can't remember if he won at 112 or not, but I know he's won at 115. So it's really tremendous, and it's just, and when you look at what Inoue has achieved, I'm speaking of Naoya at this point in time. You really have. I don't think the average American or British fight fan, I don't want to leave you guys out in the ignorant discussion here, but I don't think the average fight fan from anywhere that's not Japan, right, necessarily understand how Ioka was so instrumental in ushering in this new golden era of Japanese boxing. Like, he's long in the tooth now. He's at the end of his road. But like this guy in so many ways kind of paved the roads these guys are traveling on now. And if this is his last fight, man, hats off to Kazuto Ioka. He has been a tremendous fighter for over a decade at this point in time. I think he won his first title in his fifth, sixth fight, something like that. The guy is something special. And if you don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer for whatever reason, I implore you to go dig through his resume and make a good argument against it.
True.
So, but that's an appetizer for one hell of a main event. Honestly, the fight that I am most looking forward to on the schedule and have been for months and months, ever since it was announced. I am just fucking stoked. They're going at it at 122. Both of them won titles, weight classes below. Both of them punch like a freaking mule kicks. I'm talking Naoya Inoue, Junto Nakatani. Both of them are 13-0 right now. Inoue, 27 knockouts on his ledger. Nakatani, 24 knockouts on his ledger. It's going to be something else. People are wondering about how, like recent form, etc. Because Nakatani, I'm not going to lie, he did struggle, and he just eked it out in Riyadh against Sebastian Hernandez Reyes in a fight where, it's his first appearance at 122, and it was
a struggle. It was a struggle.
It was a
struggle.
But I'm not willing to say that fight has much to do with this one, because Nakatani is physically bigger than Inoue. He's at least taller, lankier, and Hernandez looked like a tank next to him. Like,
you can't really. It's hard to say. Well, I'm going to throw out everything Nakatani's done, and I'm just going to base all my opinion off his last fight. You can't do that. You can't throw out his body of work and just look at the last fight, because you're in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot going on, probably behind the scenes. There's a lot. I don't really take a lot of. Yeah, he didn't look good. It's probably the worst he's ever looked. I mean, since I've been watching Nakatani, that's probably the worst he's ever looked. Period. He just looked out of it. He didn't look in it, and we don't know what. There could have been a lot more to that than just maybe mentally he wasn't there. I don't really. I throw that out. I don't, because if you want to say that, look at Inoue. He got knocked down by a pro box guy. So if you're going to use that argument with Nakatani, then you got to say it with Inoue as well.
Well, and that's why I'm really stoked about this fight, and it's in a way and Tim Bradley has talked about this consistently as his career was developing, and they were airing his cards on ESPN, and Top Rank was doing the broadcasting. He said he does a lot of things right, but when he throws his jab, he drops that right hand, and it's no longer up on his chin. And now we have seen Luis Neri, who is a puncher and a southpaw, put him on his ass, and we've seen Ramon Cardenas do it from the orthodox stance, also with the left hand. Nakatani has a vile left hand, and he throws it 3 or 4 different ways.
And Donner hurt him with his left hand.
Didn't he break his jaw or something with that left hand?
Yeah, and that was old Donner.
That was old Donner.
Who hurt him. So Nakatani is definitely the hardest puncher he's ever fought. Gotta be.
And vice versa.
And
vice versa. That's why it's so interesting.
Yeah, because it's one of those. I don't see Inoue getting up if Nakatani lands a beautiful clean shot. That would be it'd be very hard to get up if he lands clean because he has that kind of punch. But like you said, that's what makes it exciting because both guys, Inoue has shown he's vulnerable. Doesn't matter how incredibly talented he is and how much everybody loves him. He's shown you can get to him. He'll get up, but you can get to him. Now the question is, can he keep doing that? Because the guy he fought, I keep forgetting that dude's name all the time, the Pro Box guy. That was a big shot, and he was hurt.
He was
hurt. He was hurt in that fight, and it took Inoue 2 or 3 rounds to get back into that.
Nakatani finished him. Yeah, when he all right, we're back and we're shutting the door.
And the difference is Nakatani wouldn't let him take 2 or 3 rounds to get his head back.
Yeah, Rudy Hernandez I'll tell you what, the Rudy Hernandez being in the corner is a real ace in the hole.
Yeah, definitely.
For Nakatani because, he's training with these Mexican boys and shit, that the Mexican mentality of fucking finish it. You've got him hurt.
And this is stupid. On him. This is stupid. I might sound stupid to say, but this is like the best trainer Nakatani's win against, or definitely top 2.
You mean Inoue?
Yeah, Inoue because Fernandez he's one of the best. Rudy Hernandez is one of the best.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like it's all kind of mixing together, but I don't know if we're going to do, I'll do a prediction now. I'll just go ahead and say it. I always thought, me and you've always thought the same thing, that if they fought, I lean towards Nakatani. I just did.
I do too.
I just think the size. I think the fact that they've seen how you get to Inoue. He does drop that right hand. There is a way to get to him. Inoue, every fight he fights now, people are getting to him a little bit. Yes, I know he's blowing people away, but they're getting to him a little bit more than they used to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like a lot, but said that's the guy did put him down really freaking hard. I just got a feel that Nakatani, I don't think we're looking at a knockout. I just think Nakatani, with his size and the fact that this is the hardest puncher Inoue's fought. This is probably the most skilled fighter he's ever fought. This is the best corner he's ever went against. He's fighting a guy that is Nakatani is the underdog, so he's got that chip on his shoulder because he's supposed to lose. He's not supposed to win. Inoue has everything against him. For some reason, honestly, I don't really care if I'm right or wrong. I don't really care who wins.
It's just gonna be a great fight. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a great fucking fight.
I'm not an Inoue. Oh my god, if he loses, I'm done with boxing. I don't get behind fighters like that anymore because I just want to see guys fight. I don't really. If they lose, they lose. They win, they win. But for some reason, I'm thinking Nakatani. I'm just going to stick with that. I've been thinking that for 3 years. I'm just going to stick with that. But I would not be surprised with any outcome. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody got knocked out in the first round. I wouldn't be surprised if Inoue just completely schools him and beats him 119, 109 or some shit. Nothing's going to surprise me in this fight. And that's why it's a good fight. I wouldn't be surprised either way it goes.
Yeah, and you're mentioning those things about what Inoue's in against. But Nakatani is in against the same way, Rob. That's why this is so good. It's like the question, even though Inoue has gotten more respect as he's coming up and he's got the bigger star and everything, like whoever wins this fight, you're talking about something that's going to be decided by the absolute narrowest margins. And that's why I love it. I love this fight.
Yep. You both have been making a pretty good case and convincing case for Nakatani. It's hard to argue against two of them with perfect records, one orthodox, one southpaw, meeting at the right time. Fair points that Inoue's has shipped us a couple of shots over the recent past. We kind of said that if the only thing that's going to catch him out is if he goes on too long or if he goes too far up the weight. So the timing could be right for Nakatani. Having said that, I think maybe he's guilty of fighting down a bit to the guys, fighting down to the level of the guys that he was in against. He was that so far ahead. I think when you've seen Inoue presented with real adversity, like in the Lenier rematch, or the Stephen Fulton fight, he fights at a different level of sharpness. And I wouldn't be surprised if he shuts out Nakatani over 12.
That would be an and Justin referenced it could go that way, and I think you have to look at who can impose themselves, and I think ultimately whoever pushes the other guy back is probably going to win. If there's even though Inoue can't do to Nakatani what Hernandez did to Nakatani in his last fight physically, he did prove that if you push Nakatani back, he's not that great of a fighter. Nakatani is good going forward and in the exchange. And so is Inoue, though. And the rare times when he's been pushed back, he struggles a little bit too. Inoue uses his feet for his defense more than anything else. So these guys, I mean, they're going to be there to be hit. It's just a question, I think, of who can push who back. And then also, if they're meeting in center ring and this is fought instead of trying to send people to the ropes and capitalize physically, but if this is fought in the center of the ring in exchanges, that's where I edge Nakatani, just because we've seen Inoue make those little mistakes. But it's all about distance too. Nakatani's taller, longer. I mean, if Inoue can make it from a more uncomfortable distance where his punches are going to be just a little bit shorter, a little bit sharper, it could go the other way. Like, I'm super stoked about this fight. I'm super stoked.
Yeah, I think Inoue's balance as well. He's always perfectly balanced to throw counter shots. I think that's going to, against the southpaw style, I think he's going to get a lot of success with the right hand down the middle and moving Nakatani about. So I don't think he's going to, I don't think these two are going to meet in the middle and slug it out Hagler-Hearn style. I think it'll be a little bit more nuanced than that and a little bit more subtle stuff from Inoue, but I just see him being sharper on the counter punch. I'm kind of negating Nakatani. I could be completely wrong. I see the argument every way, that way. So it's a really, really close fight. But yeah, that's what I see from the monster decision win.
You should just be happy that you're going to be able to watch it around noon instead of like,
I know, yeah, glorious.
I'm like trying, will we be able to find a bar in Vegas that'll show a pay-per-view from Japan at 4:00 in the fucking morning, or do we have to put it on a laptop, a fucking hotel room?
I'd say you'll get one in one of the sports bars, like one of the betting line bars. You get to see it on some screen
on a boxing weekend. You got to think that somebody's shit in the bed if they don't try to get all the people to one place for that. Like, we're not going to be into it.
So what's that? You're going to Vegas to watch again?
That's so that's going to be Ramirez and Benavidez. What do you think about that one?
I think it's a battle of two big fatties.
To be fair, Ramirez is 6'3" cruiserweight now. Like, I think he's a fair cruiserweight. Benavidez might be fat. That's a good point, though.
Both of them have gone from super middle to cruiser, and both naturally big guys. I mean, you see this footage that recently resurfaced of Benavidez when he was a kid. Extremely, extremely heavy. He probably walks around bigger than a cruiserweight. He's got to be walking around 200 pounds anyway, like, and getting down to 75. So maybe a fit to cruiserweight will probably suit him a little bit. He doesn't have to cut. I think
two high volume guys. That's what makes this one fun. Is they throw punches and bunches. They're both great at what they do. Benavidez probably throws his punches a little bit shorter than Zurdo, but they're both up in the numbers.
But does he have that? Is he going to have the same pop at cruiserweight? But he's a volume puncher anyway. So yeah, I think I'd be very, very surprised if Ramirez was able to do anything with Benavidez. I think Benavidez would be too active, too sharp, too throw too many punches and just swarm him in too many rounds. Be a right out. It'll be a humdinger. Like, it'll probably be low quality stuff in the middle rounds when the two of them get tired. But yeah, I'd expect Benavidez to win just on activity. Don't think he'll stop him, but I think he'll kind of dominate him over 12.
I don't know. I really don't feel like it's going to be a domination fight. I think that I'm not opposed to the idea that I think that Benavidez will win, and I think he probably does. But I think that the scorecards are going to be more in the 116, 112 towards a draw area, even because you got like I was saying to Justin, you got two Hispanic guys on Cinco de Mayo weekend, no real home field advantage, so that's not going to push the judges or anything any direction. I get the feeling that this is going to be a really close fight. And we've seen that Zurdo against CB. If Zurdo hadn't performed so well against CBS, I would say Benavidez all day long. But he looked good in that fight. He did.
Well, yeah, he fought well. I don't know if he ever looked good. He's fucking mess, isn't he? Yeah, but I still think Benavidez is an activity. I think it'll be too much, like a 9-3, something like that.
9-3. Interesting. So we're not too far off on it. We'll see. I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be a great weekend. I love hanging out in Vegas on Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's my thing I like to do. It's a good party. Those people know how to get down. Vegas, as I hear it, is kind of dying. Unfortunately, though, tourism is quite down. We'll see how comfortable Hispanics feel about coming here for the fight, et cetera, et cetera. It could be different. It might be a weird vibe. I don't know. But it's going to be a hell of a weekend for boxing. I think we mentioned 3 or 4 different fights that are coming up on ahead. That could absolutely be just barn burners, and we'll see how that goes. But Inoue and Nakatani, this is a meaningful fight. Let me throw this to you, Justin. I know these lists are kind of hard to make, but Inoue's kind of in that 1A, 1B kind of conversation of pound for pound, along with Usyk now that Crawford has retired. I kind of think Shakur deserves to be in that discussion too. But Nakatani is, that guy that's on most pound for pound list, hanging in that kind of 5-6 range. So if Nakatani pulls this off, does he find himself in that 1A, 1B conversation with Usyk? Or does this officially just clear the lane to say, yeah, Usyk is the best fighter in the sport? Should that be the outcome?
I'd lean towards the latter. I think it just means Usyk's 1 and the Nakatani's like 2. But you're right. Usyk, until he looks really bad, unless he struggles with the kickboxer. But yeah, I would say.
Can't see that happening. Can you?
Oh no, I could. I hope it don't happen. Could you? I hope he don't pull a Fury and look like shit, and then just that would be so fucking bad. That'd be bad for the sport. That'd be bad for everything if he just looked like shit versus whoever the hell I don't remember the guy's name. Van Dam. What the hell he called him?
Oh, Rico Suave. Yeah,
Rico Van Hoven.
Yeah, something like that.
Who is? If you ever go watch any of his shit, he's really fun to watch in the kickboxing part. He's like, he's entertaining to watch, but this is completely different shit, obviously. But they should have had Dillian White come out of kickboxing retirement and then fought him at the Pyramids. That would have been a good pay-per-view for Dillian White to get him back in. But
Jesus,
yeah, I think Nakatani, this would seal him as number 2,
the baby snatcher.
It's going to be a good one, and I'll tell you what. And if Inoue wins this one, that 1A 1B discussion doesn't end for me.
No, it doesn't.
It's incredible, and at that point in time, the question is, does Inoue want to go up one more
and fight Usyk?
And
for the undisputed pound for pound, and they'll fight like in a damn, I don't know where the hell they'll put that fight. They've already done the Pyramids. I don't know where you can put that thing. Maybe the almost straight, trying to be like the world fight or something. I don't know what the hell fight they would do, but
yeah,
let's do it.
They'll cut Usyk's Achilles to try to level the playing field.
And he can only use one arm.
But just the idea, and I would imagine if he did move up for a title, this would be the last fight that he would probably take to try to snag a belt. But can you imagine Usyk against Rafael Espinosa, or not Usyk? Excuse me, Inoue against Rafael Espinosa, that fight? I mean, Espinosa, I mean, he's 6 foot tall if he's an inch. That would be something crazy to watch. Like, if he pulled that one off, I might be talking like that he is an all-timer, like in like how Bud snuck his way into that discussion, like something like that. That's fucking crazy. Like, that would be crazy. But we'll have to see if he can get through this one first, and if he can't handle the 5'8" long-armed Nakatani, then we'll see.
You know the funny thing is, Usyk is only 3 inches taller than Espinosa.
That is fucking crazy.
I know you.
And he's shorter than Sebastian Fundora.
Yes, that is. So height-wise, it wouldn't look that strange.
No, just like a Dwight Muhammad Kawi fight, right? Yeah, and Ryan Deal throwing in 2 of those New Zealand bucks, says Nakatani gets blasted out in 3. That's sacrilegious, sir. But you gave us money, so I'm forced to say it. And then Thomas Newman says they're trying to make Bam versus Inoue. Yes, that is a discussion. And if we have to see, that's 2 weight classes to jump for Bam. We'll have to see how he needs a 118er in the middle to see what happens. But fuck, if Bam beat Inoue, that's crazy. You talk about throwing boxing on its head, that'd be absolutely freaking batshit. I don't necessarily dismiss it. He's got such incredible footwork. Yeah, but I mean, he's got to not get tagged too. He's not going to be able to get tagged. But I don't know. Any final thoughts on these cards before we call it a night, guys? Excellent. Well, I thank everybody in the chat for joining us, especially Chuck Wu, keeping it filled up. Chuck Wu, glad to see you're doing well, my man.
Fell asleep.
He was here very on time. I think he was like 22, 23 minutes in, Rob. It might have been a new record. I was impressed.
At least some of us were.
Yeah, we appreciate Ryan Deal and those New Zealand bucks. We'd much greater appreciate sponsoring us for citizenship. But that's another story and another discussion for another time. So for the Boxing Asylum crew, join us today, Rob and Justin. I've been your host, Matt. We will see you folks probably on Monday, because I'm not going to be back from Vegas on Sunday unless somebody can jump into the hot seat. We'll be trying to do something for Monday for you, but you folks have fun. Enjoy this weekend of boxing. We don't get many like this. Have a great weekend, guys.